This is a NorCal Sports Network presentation. Is Farhan's philosophy working for the Giants? The fan base of the San Francisco Giants have had a long history of showing undying loyalty to their team, even through difficult times at different points in San Francisco Giants history. Whether it be attending games on the cold nights at the Stick, or the lean years of the Giants when they weren't very competitive, and the threat of the team moving to Florida, the undying fan base stayed loyal because there was hope that the Giants organization would address these problems. This loyalty paid off first in 2000 with the opening of what is now home to the San Francisco Giants, Oracle Park. Secondly, and most importantly, the Giants won 3 World Series championships in 5 years. The dedication of San Francisco fans to the team was paid in full. As with all organizations, change will inevitably occur. Throughout the time the Giants have been in San Francisco, there have been changes in the dugout, front office, and ownership. The latest change for the club came in late 2018 when the Giants hired Farhan Zaidi to become the president of baseball operations. The talk of the town was that good times would soon return to the park after a few years of subpar performance by the team. The reason why the Giants organization and fans alike were excited was because of Farhan's success down south. The move was seen as a change of philosophy for the club and would resemble the achievements that Los Angeles was having. Expectations were running high for all Giants fans, with thoughts of 2010, 2012, and 2014 championship years soon returning to the park. There was a consensus among baseball writers that the Giants would soon be back to their winning ways, with Farhan being named president of baseball operations. The following are examples of what was being written. Alex Pavlovich wrote, "For the Giants, this is a coup." Zaidi was high on their wish list from the beginning for a search to replace Bobby Evans, but it was always unclear if they could lure him away from the Dodgers, who are light years ahead of the Giants at the moment when it comes to roster construction and farm systems. The move weakens the Dodgers front office while giving the Giants a highly thought-of executive to take the organization in a new direction. Larry Bayer is quoted saying in Jesse Rogers' article on ESPN, "We set out to find one of the best minds in baseball, and Farhan's many accomplishments and expertise exceeded our expectations." He goes on to say that Farhan is widely viewed as one of the top executives in our industry, and we are thrilled to have him lead the next chapter of Giants baseball. Furthermore, Grant Brisbee reported, "Zaidi is someone who has proven that he can navigate the angry seas of modern data. The Giants did not have someone who could do that, and it showed." Lastly, Matt Snyder for MLB wrote, "What he'll bring to the Giants is likely a shift in approach. The old regime of the Giants, while every front office in baseball has an analytics department, was definitely one of the more old school groups remaining in baseball. Zaidi comes from 2 organizations that are as new school as any." It was during the beginning of the 2019 season where Farhan's changes began to appear. Longtime World Series winning manager Bruce Bochy announced that he was stepping away from the game after the 2019 season was over. It was a bittersweet moment because there was angst among the fan base about the direction of the team. People still understood the leadership he brought to the clubhouse. At the end of the season, the hunt for a new manager began. The selection of Gabe Kapler to be the new manager had some lingering doubt whether this selection was the best. Kapler had just been fired from the Philadelphia Phillies after 2 seasons as their manager, without much success given the talent that the team he had to manage. Additionally, there was controversy while he was the farm director for the Los Angeles Dodgers organization concerning allegations against minor league players and the role he played in its alleged cover-up. Needless to say, Gabe Kapler became the next manager for the upcoming 2020 season. The 2020 season was in shambles due to the COVID pandemic, and the season only comprised of 60 games. The 2021 season would be the next full season, and it was a season for the ages for the San Francisco Giants. The team finished with a 107-win season, which was achieved because of key players having career years. Buster Posey, Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford had incredible offensive and defensive performances. The pitching staff, headed by Kevin Gossman and Logan Webb, also were huge factors in the success of the team. There were also key role players such as Lamont Wade Jr., Wilmer Flores, and Darren Ruff. Both Zaidi and Kapler received praise and each earned the awards for Executive and Manager of the Year. The much espoused term of "In Farhan We Trust" became the norm in the Bay Area. The 2022 season began with some new faces that joined the team during the 2021 offseason after a long labor standoff between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. Once an agreement had been reached and there would be 2022 season, the Giants struck fast by acquiring Carlos Rodon on a 2-year deal with an opt-out after his first year. Giants also signed Joc Pederson to a 1-year deal to get a significant left-handed bat to fortify the lineup. At the same time, Farhan let Gausman enter into free agency without tendering him a contract. He had great years with the Giants, but Farhan would not offer a long-term deal. Gausman eventually signed with the Toronto Blue Jays for 5 years and just over $100 million. A bargain considering today's market for starting pitching. Unfortunately, around the period of the trade deadline during the 2022 season, the Giants were scuffling and it looked as though they would fall out of contention. The Giants had an opportunity to trade Carlos Rodon at the trade deadline. Everyone knew that Rodon would opt out of his contract because he was having a fantastic year, and the Giants under Farhan would not sign him to a long-term contract. It was obvious the Giants would lose Rodon in free agency, so it made sense to get something in return at the deadline. It was not to be. The Giants could have also traded Joc Pederson to a team that was in the postseason hunt. Pederson had a propensity to step up during the postseason, so he could have been a player that could have brought back a good prospect in return. Farhan instead stuck with both Pederson and Rodon for the remainder of the season, in which they finished 81-81 and missed getting into the 2022 postseason. After having a disappointing 2022 season, the Giants were poised to go big game hunting with many high-level free agents available on the market, the biggest one being Aaron Judge, whose childhood team was the San Francisco Giants. The Giants were in a very strong financial position to attract not only Judge, but other potential free agents. Instead, Judge decided to stick with the team that drafted him, the New York Yankees. The Giants struck out yet again on another significant free agent. The Giants quickly pivoted to another free agent, Carlos Correa. Out of nowhere, the Giants announced that they had reached a tentative deal with the all-star shortstop Carlos Correa for 13 years and $350 million. There was excitement and also a foreboding that the deal was too long for Correa. But the Giants got a big fish, and he had the potential to do great things for the Giants. Approximately after a week went by after the Correa announcement, there were rumblings why there wasn't an official press conference. Eventually, one had been scheduled, and the Bay Area waited to hear from the newest Giant to don the orange and black. This is where things took a twist. The day the press conference was to occur, the Giants abruptly canceled it because of medical conditions that were revealed in Correa's medical examination. Shortly after this revelation, the Giants pulled their offer and Correa's future with the Giants ended. Speculation ran wild on how this deal collapsed. Giants couldn't respond, but Correa's agent, Scott Boras, would continue to make the Giants look bad because of the way they handled this deal. It was not a good look for Farhan because there were mistakes made by the organization in scheduling a press conference and then canceling it on the very day it was supposed to occur. This would not be the end of the woes for Farhan's tenure with the Giants. Throughout the 2022 offseason, Farhan Zaidi reiterated many times the need for the Giants to improve their defense and to become more athletic. The 2022 season highlighted the issues the Giants had with defense during the season, and it needed to be addressed. Once the deals for Judge and Correa fell through, the Giants were under the gun in finding suitable players to achieve this goal. It would be difficult because the current roster had a history of injury. The players the Giants did sign were outfielders Michael Conforto and Mitch Haniger. Pitching signings included Sean Manaea, Taylor Rogers, and Ross Stripling. There was risk in signing Conforto and Haniger because of their injury history, which according to Farhan, was an important facet of the game that needed to be improved. The moves that Farhan made did not improve the team in 2023. In fact, it was worse than the 2022 season. The defense was so bad that the club ranked dead last in the major leagues. In addition to the bad defense, the Giants finished 26th in offensive production in the league as well. The growing sentiment among Giants fans was the style of baseball Farhan implemented was not working. The excessive use of platooning proved to have negative effects on the club as a whole, both defensively and at the plate. Not only was team production waning, so was public sentiment for the team. Fans were growing discouraged with the club, and calls for change began towards the end of the season when it was obvious the team would struggle to reach 500, let alone the playoffs. Not only were Giants fans becoming discouraged, but the style of baseball was being criticized by national baseball writers such as Tom Verducci. Tom's article, written in the middle of September, described the type of baseball that was being played by the Giants under the concept of Farhan, which I call Farhanian baseball. Tom lays out the issues the Giants have with their strategy in many aspects of the game, to include pitching and batting performances, and he isn't excited about this kind of baseball. It is an observation that is in direct opposition of what Farhan said about the team at the beginning of the 2023 season. Here are a few quotes from Verducci's article. The Giants are interesting in the way mutual funds are interesting. They are smart, efficient, and lackluster. Verducci continues to say, the new rules have made baseball a faster, more athletic, and more risk-taking game this year. With their lack of speed and star power, the Giants missed that train. They also missed the attendance boost that accompanies that excitement. The Giants are only one of 5 teams not to get an attendance increase this year. Only the Nationals and the White Sox, both non-contenders all year, have seen a bigger drop. The Giants have lost 26% of their paying customers since 2016, their last winning team without COVID-19 restrictions. Lastly, he states, Farhan Zaidi has run the Giants as president of baseball operations since 2019. The franchise record of 107 wins from 2021 looks like an outlier. The team has played 500 baseball in the 2 years since and 1 season prior. Zaidi has not signed a free agent for more than $44 million that went to Carlos Rodon, who opted out after the first of those 2 seasons. The team's CBT 40-man payroll figure dropped from 3rd in 2018 to 13th this year. The Giants finished below 500 in 2023, and the repercussions from that dismal performance was the firing of manager Gabe Kapler. Further changes were called for by some of the Bay Area media and by dedicated fans who were able to air their displeasure with the team via social media and YouTube. The further changes wanted was the removal of Farhan Zaidi from baseball operations. Farhanian baseball over the last 5 years has not accomplished winning baseball, and in fact it has turned off many Giants fans, as stated by Verducci's article. Not only has Farhan concepts of baseball failed, he has lured the fan base into a false sense of putting together a winning baseball organization with promises not kept. Furthermore, his decisions during the 2022 and 2023 trade deadline prevented the club from acquiring quality prospects that had the potential of improving the team in the future. Lastly, it seems his inability to sign quality free agents rather than hunting the margins has had a detrimental effect on the offensive production of the team. So, to answer the question whether Farhan's philosophy works, it works if a club wants to live on the margins and hope it is enough to win. The San Francisco Giants have a long, storied history, and this organization deserves to have people cognizant of that history to construct the best team possible. Farhanian baseball is not the answer.